Alright, what up guys, Andre and Crossbow, it's Mark here, and today is Friday the 14th, and I'm here back downtown in Shanghai, and it's Friday afternoon. The last update that we had was on the 11th. On the 11th, I believe it was, on Tuesday. So a lot of it changed from then. The weather's been pretty bad. I haven't gone out to shoot, so I just come back downtown again to have a look here. And it's already supposed to be a work day, but like you can see behind me, like it's pretty much quiet as there's nobody around. So people were supposed to go back to work this week, but there's still so many different restrictions about going back to work. Everybody's getting checked now. Everywhere you go, you have to register. A lot of offices have begun working from home, so actually still hasn't really gone back to normal, and by the looks of it, it still is going to be a while. Alright, so today I'm going to address the issue about the numbers. What the hell is going on with these numbers and the body count? Alright, so today I'm going to talk about the body count and these numbers. They're going crazy. The numbers are keep going up. There's a lot of people been talking about if the numbers are real or not, if it's over exaggerated, if it's too many, it's not enough, whatever. So I'm just going to give you my 2 cents. Coronavirus versus Team China, 6,811 recovered, and then you've got 1,381 that didn't make it. And this is a huge jump now. It's like the count is 63,940. So that is like a huge jump. That is a massive jump. It was up 42,000 going to 65. So it's actually like a 23,000 increase from the other day. And this is just a massive jump. So I seen that yesterday and I was like, what the hell was that about? So then we looked into it and we found out a few different things that have changed. So basically the biggest jump from the last couple of days, they said it was because it was a change in the testing protocol. So they're using different implementation, they're using different tests than what they did before to categorize this virus. So that explains why the big jump has gone up, but actually it's still a little bit, how can we say, it made a lot of people uncomfortable when they seen that number rise up so quickly. Even weeks ago, I think the last week ago, someone pointed out that there was like these numbers suddenly just went up really high, like 10 times the amount that they said it was. Some people were saying that Tencent was trying to signal the rest of the world and telling people that that's the real number. The real body count was already in the hundreds of thousands. So is it really that big? That's the question. Like a lot of people said, like how big is this thing? No one really knows. The issue is about, like, there's so many different angles to look at this thing. Yes, there was got a lot of guys infected. How many? We still don't know. That's number one fact. Why would you build these hospitals and implement so strict if the situation wasn't so big? That's one angle what people were saying. But on the flip side, they also said that if there was so many people infected, why hasn't there been a more greater spread, especially overseas? Why is it just still relatively contained within China? Of course, now they've shut everything down, nothing's getting out, but actually a lot of the people have already left. A lot of people already left for their hometown or traveled overseas before the call out, before everyone knew that it was happening. So that means if there was lots of people already infected, for sure we would see now that actually, you know, there'll be more people coming up overseas. But so far overseas it's still relatively very low infection. Even in Shanghai it's still relatively low. Wuhan, different story. People say there's a lot of things going on. I cannot say exactly because obviously I'm not there. I keep track of everything. I know some guys that around there. I've been in China before. Like I said, I've been in China for the last couple of decades. I was around when SARS was around. Actually, I was at the epicenter of SARS, so I know what the situation is like from before, and I can compare it to now. I didn't want to make any big jump or big let's say I wasn't going to jump to any conclusions yet. I want to see how the thing rolls out. Everybody knows that any government manipulates data, so I cannot trust the numbers that they've been put out anyway. Do I think they're low? Yes. How low, I don't know, but like, another thing is that the China government, they will never give out I don't know, would any government, or especially this government, why would they give out the real information? This is one thing. Another thing is, like, how would people know? Just the logistics involved. Like, they're tracking every hospital, every hospital in every city around the whole, in every province. There's hundreds of hospitals, and every around the whole nation. And this must be, can you coordinate the data to be flown into, like, to say that this is the tally that's happening today? Because if you know, in China, to get real data out, it's really hard. It's really hard to get data. Nobody knows. It's not that so connected. So this point, I don't know how people can just come up with a number. And secondly, why would they even give out this number? Another thing is that all the data is, as I know of, or like we heard of, is actually from government or from the hospitals. So, like, that's not tracking all the people that's out. So, like, the people that only went to the hospital and only the people that got tested. So it was going up pretty steady, around like 3,000 confirmed a day or something for the last weeks and weeks. But, like, you can imagine, they already said about the test kits, if you didn't if there's not enough test kits, there's only allocated amount of test kits per day or per use. So the people that are getting tested, maybe just say they can max out at 3,000, or even maximum of 4,000 people test a day. So the number is only going to be based on how many people that they can test on that day. That doesn't say that that's all, you know, like they're saying, like, if that's all, like if there's 63,000 people now, that's not all that's infected. There's a lot more than that. There's at least 63,000, and maybe lots more than that. But, like, all you can say is that, okay, the hospitals, they can only do so much. There's only so many tests. How long does it take for a doctor to test a person? 30 minutes, up to 2 hours. Some said up to even a day to reading the test and acknowledging. And even then, how many people can get passed through during the day? The one is that there's not enough test kits. So the test kits they're using, that's basically all that they're going to be able to do. There's only a certain amount of testing that you can be done per day. Another thing is that the tests only, or the records are only showing of what people are, like, in the hospital. A lot doesn't show, like, what are the people outside in the streets. They're saying there's a lot of people that already been infected, or they're staying in their house already. So they're stuck in their house, and then some guy's already dying in their house. So I'm not sure if they said that that's even counted. Is it the counts are only in the hospital, or is the counts outside as well, includes everything? And for sure, it's very hard to include everything. A lot of doctors are being flown in there to actually back up the situation, but actually the situation is that some are saying that a lot of the doctors are already infected as well. So there's someone said it was up to like 30% of the doctors were actually infected, and therefore some guy that was infected, now they cannot serve the person, but they're also taking another bed. So then it could be up to 500 people already, 500 medical staff or greater have already been infected by the virus. Obviously, all of this stuff is, no one knows truly what the full extent of the thing is. No one in each hospital or every doctor or every person has a different story. The media is pushing everything out. Well, these are the things that people have said, and you have to draw your own conclusions about that. At the beginning, a lot of people were saying that the government wasn't doing enough, but, like, from what I see now, like, that it's everything. I think that at the moment, government is doing, like, unprecedented. This thing, compared to even from before, from what I've seen in SARS to now, this is starting to become next level now. At this point in time, what else can the government actually do? They're shutting down everything. They're checking everybody, anybody that's traveling or been moving around in different cities. Everyone has to be recorded down. Everyone going to offices being closed down. Wuhan, everything is locked down in Wuhan. Even the people are not even allowed to go out. They're even getting other people to actually, government guys are bringing in food and stuff, but you're supposed to stay in your house. Shanghai nowhere near is that bad. So how long is this thing gonna go for? Nobody knows. As we can compare to the days of the SARS started around the same time as that November, December, and I remember that it went right to the summer. At least when the weather, they said that like when the weather warms up, the germs they don't like the higher heats, so then it sort of like gradually just dies off. But the virus, if it goes to the summer, if it can last through the summer, then maybe that's all we'll see of it. But then the impacts, we're going to feel the impact, and it's going to ripple right through to the rest of the year, I think. All we can do, contain the situation, which they're already doing. Everybody's on lockdown. The spread cannot spread any further, and then just delay the spread by keeping yourself clean, being hygienic, and just gonna wait this thing out. So actually in the end, I don't think we're ever going to really know the real numbers, the true extent of what's the death toll and how many was affected. But for us now, it's sort of like it kind of doesn't matter either, because everybody's going to say something. Everyone's going to say that number's not real. Whatever number that they're going to put down, somebody's going to say something, oh, that's going to be greater than that anyway. So like, and actually the situation as I see it now, or as I'm living in it, it already is what it is now. And no, the number getting higher or lower, do you think it's going to change anything? The government is already doing it's everything. There's nothing much else that we can do except just let the virus take its course and then just wait it out.